welcome back to my channel, and today I'm back here with another video. So today I'll be sharing about how I cleared my 5-figure credit card debts. So basically what happened was I left my previous organization to join a new organization, but I am still doing the same thing. I'm still a financial consultant under the same company. So because of that, there is this rule in the company that we need to take a 1-year break because there will be a conflict of interest. So that is what happened. So I had to take a 1-year break, and yeah, because of that 1-year break, a lot of things happened, and I couldn't keep up with my expenses for that 1 year, and that's how I got into my credit card debts. So my backstory is actually I'm somebody who is very, very scared of taking up loans, and I'm somebody who is a strong advocate that if I have my credit card bills, I need to pay on time. So at that point in time, because I left so abruptly, I didn't plan ahead, and then everything started going downhill, and I started going to credit card issues. I was really struggling mentally and physically as well. So basically at that point in time when I first resigned, my expenses on a monthly basis was probably about 5k, close to 6k a month. So when I was bringing my income, I could still sustain it, but the moment my income stopped, I think that was when everything went downhill. So today I'm just going to share how I cleared my 5-figure debt. So I think in January 2022 I had a debt of 5 figures, and that was also when I decided that I need to stop. I really need to start to think about how to clear this, because it's been like 2 years and I haven't really progressed, but things were just getting worse. So today I'm gonna share 7 things that I did to clear my debt in January 2022. So the very first thing that I really learned from it is that I had to face reality. So I think facing in reality for me is something that it's very difficult for my personality previously, because I'm always somebody who is a doer, and I believe that when our mind is strong, when we have the will, we'll be able to clear, we'll be able to do what we need to do. And so that was just me. I was just on the run, and I always believed that things will definitely work out as long as I keep moving and I don't stop. And back then I'm somebody who doesn't like to stop. I don't like to rest, so I'll just keep moving and keep moving and keep moving. So that was my mentality back then. But I think when it came to January 2022, when I was already up to my maximum limit in my credit card, I told myself that things have to change, and there's really something that I need. It's time to not be in denial, but to face my reality. So what I did at that point in time is I started to really sit down and look at how much did I owe in total. So the thing is, I'm a financial consultant, and it's like my 10 years in this line already, but I have never once looked into my expenses. I've never really tracked my expenses, so I really don't know how much I spent. And my mentality was just like, okay, I will definitely be able to clear, I will definitely be able to bring in money to clear my debt. So I never looked at it until January 2022, when things was really going out of hand. That was when I realized that I really had to sit down and start looking at my situation, look at my problem. And I'm somebody who don't like to look at problem. I like to look at solution, but I don't like to look at problem. And that was also why everything just snowballed until January 2022. So that was when I told myself it's time to stop being in denial, but to look at my problem and to face my problem head on. So that's the first thing I've learned. Second thing I learned is that I need to learn how to communicate. So being a doer, I never like to communicate, and I would say I don't know how to communicate my problems, and plus I don't like to look at problems. So to me it's like, there's a problem, just find a solution. What's the point of communicating? What's the point of talking about it? So I never learned how to communicate. communicate. And when it comes to finances, it's even worse, because I think from young I always felt like, you know, if you need money, you need to just earn it. You need money, you just earn it, you know. So I never talked about money issue, especially with my husband. You know, I don't talk to him about money because I don't want him to worry about money. Yeah, so I don't communicate. So but at that point in time when, you know, things was already so bad, I realized that I had to communicate. I had to stop, and I had to really tell him exactly what's the problem, and what was the problem that I was facing. So yeah, that was when I was just very open with him, and I just told him that, you know, it's time that I have to, you know, face reality. And you know, and also I think the most important part about communication is really also for me to apologize to him, you know, for the situation that we were in, because the reason why we were in so much problem and why the debt was rolling up so much is also because I was in denial. And every single time he tell me that, you know, we need to stop our spending, we need to cut, I would always tell him that, you know, it's okay, we will definitely get back, you know, you will definitely be able to earn back, you know, and you should focus on the solution and not on the problem. And because of that, you know, like things just snowballed, and I felt like I owe him an apology to apologize to him. Yeah, so that is the second part on communication, really to communicate with your partner, with your family member, with the situation that you have. Yeah, and really work together to come up with a solution rather than just going through the motion. Yeah. The third thing that I've learned is to start tracking my expenses. Okay, it's very weird that I'm saying this because I'm a financial consultant, but me myself, previously, I don't even track my expenses. I don't even know how much I earn. I just know that I got money coming in, but I don't know how much is it. So back then my mentality was really quite bad, because to me it's more of like, I just need to bring in the money. As long as end of the month I have left over, I can pay for my expenses, that's good enough. Yeah, so my main focus was just to earn money to clear my expenses, and I don't owe money, that's about it. And I don't track my expenses, I don't track my income. As long as I got enough, I just let it be, you know, and I just continue. Because to me, last time, I feel like tracking is a waste of time. Like, why do I have to set time aside, you know, half an hour to an hour just to track my expenses and my income? Yeah, so I didn't like that. So I just focused on bringing in money, and clearing my expenses, that's it. Yeah, which I think it's really, really bad. So at that point in time, I started to really track the money that come in and the money that goes out. And I realized by tracking things, right, it also shows that you respect your money, you respect your finances. And because I start tracking, I start to be able to make better decisions with my money. And because I'm mindful of what I spend, I will ask myself questions like, do I really need this? You know, if I buy this, like, how long will I use it? You know, is it a necessity or is it a want? And all these questions really help me to become a better person, and to also help me to have clarity with my finances. Yeah, and I started to feel like I'm in control of my finances, and I didn't have to chase after the money. Yeah, so it's like losing weight. So if you want to lose weight, right, the first thing that people always do, right, is to track what they eat, track the calories. And I think it should be applied the same way in our finances as well. Yeah. The fourth thing I've learned is to live within my means. So this is linked to the third one. So the third one, because I start tracking my expenses, I ask myself those questions. I've learned to live within my means. And this is something that I've never learned growing up. Even as a financial consultant, I've never learned that, because end of the day, right, we are living in this world of scarcity that we always feel that it's never enough. So no matter what you have, you know, how much money you have, you always feel that it's never enough, and you always want to have more. And what happens after that, right, is that you will never learn how to live within your means, because it's never enough. So you always want to have more and more. And the thing about living within my means, right, I felt like after I was able to live within my means, I had better control of everything in my life. And that, you know, a lot of things in my life started to improve, like my communication, like my relationships with people also improved, because I was able to also have a better perspective on things. So that is the fourth thing that I've learned. And the fifth thing that I've learned, which I think is the most important thing, it's to save before spending. So in the past, because I grew up with scarcity, with a poverty mindset, I always feel like I need to clear my expenses first before anything else. So in the past, I would spend first, then I would save. But I realized that in order to break away from that poverty cycle, we need to start to learn to save first before we spend. So saving, it also means that you are being responsible for yourself and you are being responsible for the people around you. So I think in the past, although I don't really save first, I spend first. But the saving grace is that because I'm a financial consultant and I strongly believe in what I do, I will always make sure that I have 30% set aside every single year for my income, for my insurance purposes and for my retirement purposes. Yeah, so thankfully I had all these things that also, actually saved me during the period of time where I was going through my credit card debts. Yeah, so that is the saving grace. That's one thing that made me continue to do what I do, continue to be in this line of work, because I believe that my experience will be able to help a lot of other people to get out of this poverty cycle. So yeah, and the sixth thing that I've learned is to focus on faith, not fear. So in the past, I do a lot of my planning, all my conversations with my clients, with my friends, all revolve around fear. Yeah, so for me in the past, I also plan out fear. I do a lot of retirement planning for myself because I was afraid that I would become like my parents, not prepared for retirement and have no money for retirement, that they have to rely on their kids. I think it comes from a good place, but it doesn't allow me to live my life to the fullest. And what I meant by planning with faith, right, is knowing that I need to set this aside. Okay, it's not because out of fear, but it's because you love yourself enough, you love the people around you enough to do this planning for yourself, and then have faith that whatever comes, you will have enough. A lot of times people don't plan for retirement, or they don't think for the long term, is because they are afraid that in the now, in the present, they will not have enough. And when you always have this kind of fear that you do not have enough now, you will never take any action for your future. And that's what will keep you stuck in this poverty cycle. So to me, I feel having faith that everything will turn out, and having the discipline to put that money aside every single month is something that it's important, and it really will help you go a long way. So the next time when you see yourself like worrying, being fearful of like, oh, if I need to put this money for my future, will I have enough money now? Okay, just remember this. Okay, tell yourself, say that I have faith that everything will work out fine. And even if it doesn't, right, just have faith that you will just get a solution from it. Yeah, and always ask yourself, if I go through this now, on my deathbed, will it even matter to me? Will this even matter to me? Will this problem even have any effects on me? And if the answer is no, then I think it's time you should just let it go and have faith that everything always will turn out for the good of you. So I realized that when I learn how to really handle my finances well, I start to have a lot of clarity in all other aspects of my life. And if you focus on one area of your life, okay, everything else will flow into the other parts of your life. So yes, that's all I have to share today. If there's anything that you can relate to, and any comments, any feedbacks that you have for me, feel free to tell me, or anything that you want me to share in my next video, feel free to let me know. And yeah, I will be continuing on this for the next video as well. I'll be sharing more about what I learned and what I went through as well. So yeah, if you like whatever I shared, do like and subscribe the video. So see you. Bye.